get in transition. Shaq, talk about successfully running the break.
Well, I'm not a guard, but I have led the break before. And what you need to do, you got to keep your eyes ahead, have to see the whole floor. You got to be willing to make that extra pass, Ernie.
Wow. You talk like a guard.
Yeah.
You were like a point guard up there.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations, man. But don't force things. That's the other part. You know, just make the easy play. And if it's not there, slow it down. Set up your half-court offense, and then get it into the big guy if you have one.
But don't you want to get the crowd on its feet? Don't you want to make that play that gets the whole arena up?
Yes. You know what they used to call me, Ernie?
What's that?
Shaq Johnson.
Wow. Because he was like magic, but he was Shaq.
I get it, Kenny.
Oh, I
get it.
Sometimes you don't.
Not that dense. Shaq Johnson.
Nightfall in the Windy City with the Willis Tower and the rest of downtown Chicago lighting up the sky. The Wizards are looking to defeat their Eastern Conference rival going into this game. Welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Alongside Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. And on the sidelines, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. Just a single game at home. After this one, it's back on the road for the Bulls. Game after game, the unbroken streak of wins to start their season continues.
Yeah, and looking to stay unbeaten against this team. A win here would get them off to a 2. Start in this 4-game season series.
You know, they've really dominated aspects of that first matchup, and victory tonight would keep the momentum going in their favor.
So a look at the starters for the Wizards. They've got Simmons, and it's York in at the 5 down low. That's tipped. Here's Kukoc, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Doors when the light finally goes on for a young guy, so fun to watch. Younger players who've got all the talent and all the world right in front of them, but yet haven't put it all together just quite yet.
It's amazing to me how quickly we can give up on a young guy who maybe doesn't find success right out of the gate. But the reality is you have to remember, player development is the lifeblood of this league. Maybe now now more than ever with the current state of the salary cap. So a little patience as a fan base goes a long, long way.
Carter outside. And the pass to Hunt. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And he makes that one. 6 points for T.
Heating up early on. This is exactly how he wanted to start the night.
You're right. I mean, he's found his rhythm early. The defense has got to do a better job guarding him from this point on.
Kenzie passes to Simmons. 5 to shoot. Got a piece of it.
Boy, able to get off the floor so quickly. Levine sending that one back.
Hunt with the bucket.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
A slow start for Washington in this one. 8-point game. Pass to York. And again, Washington no good.
3 straight misses to begin the game. Not the start they were hoping for.
Here's Kukoc. It's deflected. And here we go. The Wizards fast break. And he throws it down hard with one hand.
And that ends the frustration. They've been ice cold to start this one.
Well, hopefully that gets their juices flowing, right? Once that first shot falls, it's typically a big relief.
Passes to Hunt. Takes a 3. A three-pointer is right on target. 5 points in the game.
And guys, this is what you like to see early on, gaining a little confidence from range.
Right. You like the mindset so far, Greg. If you give them room to drain it, they'll do just that.
Simmons on the wing. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Right, because otherwise you're going to give up those close range opportunities all night. If you allow the opposition to get into a groove, look out.
Wizards trailed by 7. We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Out to the right wing. Man, guarded by Kukoc. 6 to shoot.
And that's his second foul already, and that's going to force him to tone down his aggression defensively.
Dunn, he's checked in for Chicago. Now here's Simmons. 17 points in his last outing. Shot clock at 6. Here's McKenzie, and it's blocked. Early kicks to Kukoc. Pass to Levine. Carter with it, and that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. He's been on fire lately. Let's take a look at your Eastern Conference Player of the Week, T.
You know, just looking back at things, I'd be hard-pressed to find a more complete stretch of games by anyone in the league. He was getting it done and stuffing the stat sheet night in and night out on both ends of the floor. Truly a dominant run.
The shot's good from Carter.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
McKenzie, Dunn covering. McKenzie passes to Simmons. To the paint, here's York. That one's in, his first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
Physical basketball there, and in the best sense. A hard screen allows him to shake the defender and get to the bucket for the layup.
Wizards trailed by 7. The pass to McKenzie. Got a piece of it, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. The three-point game, such a big part of the NBA. Let's see the best teams at it. Number 1, the Bulls.
The threat of deep shooting makes everything easier offensively. They've been incredibly accurate from long range.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. And just an impossible shot to guard at times. Doris, when you think of that step-back jump shot in the league, it's lethal. And there are a couple guys who have perfected it.
Well, two in particular. James Harden, that step-back that he added is now unguardable. And Steph Curry as well. Those two men, when they decide to get to that step-back jumper, turn the lights out, close the gym doors, and step back because it's going in.
And the Wizards are going with a whole new group out there now. So timeout called here, the first for Washington.
And while we got a chance, let's look at some numbers for T. First in scoring, third in shooting percentage, and he's an elite glass eater, a factor inside among the top 10 in rebounds per game.
And his scoring abilities are just so far out of sight. Number 1 overall right now. No one's been able to slow him down or even come close. Now, here's Thornton. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Pistons in Detroit. You always hear coaches preaching consistency. Doris, what enables that kind of night-in, night-out reliability?
Well, I think a lot goes into it, and you can start with pride, Kevin. If you're putting in the kind of preparation necessary, then you're going to take a certain amount of pride in the things you do on a night-by-night basis. Things aren't always going to go your way, but it's not how you end the night. It's how do you respond in the middle of the game when things are going against you. Calls haven't gone your way, or perhaps, oh, that's unbelievable.
Man, hard to believe. Already they're staring at a double-digit lead, and we've just gotten started.
Boy, they have come out strong. They've controlled the pace, asserted their will. Wow.
From deep, hits it from three-point range. Thornton's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
Listen, this guy's got the green light at any time, but Beal with the nice look to set up the open shot.
High post try. Another one falls for Washington.
Boy, that's as wide open as you're going to get. The defense needs to lock in and be better than that.
On the wing, Kukoc. He's guarded by Thornton. Bulls making a switch here. Bird's checked in. .114 left in the first quarter. Just 5 to shoot. Inside. Here's Page, guarded by Robinson. And there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
He's off on that one. Now Chicago takes it the other way. They went to Washington for their last meeting with the Wizards, and they came out with the win.
And the story of that game was their terrific rhythm on the offensive end.
Right, you could tell they were in a groove all night. They looked comfortable. They didn't rush. It was gorgeous execution.
Elliott's checked in for the Bulls. Wizards trail by 8. And here is Beal. He's provided them with some scoring punch and is averaging 13 points a game. And here's the fast break. Dunn leading the way. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
Defensively, they've got to pick up the intensity. Hard to win surrendering this high a field goal percentage.
Washington's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Shepard, Dunn covering. Chicago ends up going with the new group. Here's Kukoc. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Kicks it to Early. Back to Kukoc. And down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Kukoc is out there with Carter. Then it's Zach LaVine, and it's Hunt in at the 1. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Clock at 6. Shot from the top of the key. They get it back. York. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like. And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second, a nice way to get your offense going.
Yeah, Levine finding the open man. The difference for him right now, playing under control.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, T in that last outing against the Cavaliers lit up the floor. He had 49 points and played tremendous defense as well, really causing havoc on both ends of the floor. The numbers in that game make me anxious to see what he can do tonight. Kevin?
Thanks, David. It was a performance that not many players are capable of.
I know I won't forget it for a while, and you have to think he'll keep it rolling here tonight. When you're that high, it takes a while to cool down.
I think that's the kind of game that carries over, and he'll have every chance to do it because I've got to believe he's their #1 option.
Pass to York. Passes it to McKenzie. This one for 3. And another miss by Washington.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their... Goodness. Wow. Exceptional play across the board. I love their tenacity, just piling it on at this point.
You know, the beauty is it hasn't just been offense, right? It's been the defensive end as well. They're firing on all cylinders right now.
Down low, Hunt the pass to Kukoc. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. So it's Washington now. Wizards trail by 17. To the inside. And that one is hammered home.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Yeah, and an example of why you want to let the game come to you. The opening presented itself. He converted in a big way.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
The pass to York. 1:12 left in the first half. 6 on the shot clock. Wizards need to get a shot off here.
How good is that pass? Certainly makes the offensive opportunity easy.
Chicago leading by 16. Pass to Simmons. 46 seconds left to play here in the second quarter.
And that's the tough part of trying to keep him on the floor. Now he picks up that third foul.
And the Bulls making a change here. Dunn's checked in. 44 seconds left in the second quarter. Kukoc passes to Early. And he lays it straight in.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
McKenzie, Dunn covering. In the corner, Thornton with it. He kicks it to Simmons. Shot clock at 5. Here's Robinson. The shot from the low post is good.
Well, everything starts with a great pass, right? That's really pretty.
Pass to Early. Dunn outside. Kukoc pass to Levine. Now, here's Dunn.
Yeah, that's just a nice pass. This was one of college basketball's premier playmakers. Dunn showing great vision.
And so it's Chicago in command with a 16-point lead as the buzzer sounds. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Bradley. The old saying, no rebounds, no rings. How important is it to continue to have 5 guys go to the glass in the second half?
Yeah, all five guys. I think we're too worried about getting out in transition. So I think 1 through 5, including the guards, we all got to get in there and rebound.
You can't score unless you have the ball, right? Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Really an incredible game from T.
I mean, he was prolific in that first half. You know it's coming, but it's just so tough to stop.
And this is what he does, right, Greg? He's out there to score the basketball, and throughout that first half, he dominated.
Second half is underway, and here's who Scott Brooks has got on the floor. They've got Simmons, and it's York in at the 5, roaming the paint.
You know, he hasn't taken as many shots tonight, but they're still ahead, and that means his teammates are delivering.
That shot off the mark.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
It's blocked, and they'll keep possession. Kukoc lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Kukoc has got 20 points.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
You can tell they've got their foot on the gas pedal right now. No slowing down. The defense starting to look helpless.
Knocked loose, so it's the Wizards now. About 1 minute played here in the second half. And so it looks like Washington will retain possession here. Now let's check out and highlight the best defenses in the NBA. Number 1, the Bulls.
You know, allowing the fewest points per game in the entire league. Their defense has been dominant. Tremendous scheming by the coaches. The players are skilled. They're motivated. This is a very tough bunch to score on. Well, an 0-for-3 start to the second half. They're going to have to start tightening things up on the offensive end.
And it's Simmons penetrating. From down in the low post, it goes. Simmons got 8. Well, Doris, at times out there, things get a little heated. Some people feel like the whistle's being blown too quickly on some of these technical fouls. What do you think?
I would actually completely disagree, Kevin. I think there are certain players who are given far too much latitude and others for whom the whistle does come too quickly. So I think it would be better and more helpful to the officials, the teams, and also the fans to understand what is and what does cross a line. Because to me, there's no consistency, there's a lot of confusion, and I think it works both ways. Sometimes too long of a leash, sometimes too short.
Excellent appraisal.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Washington calls timeout.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Well, I think they've got to ramp up the pressure. There's no excuse for letting them score at will in the paint. Make them feel you.
So both teams making some changes here. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Bulls.
And the three-point shot above the break has become a popular shot in the league, but not for them tonight. They're passing that one up and just trying to get their offense from closer to the hoop.
Here's the floater, and Markkanen lays it up and in. Markkanen's got his second basket of the game.
Look, you got to keep Markkanen out of the paint. He's just too big on that block and imposes his will.
And T is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Elliott's checked in for Carter. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. To the middle. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
And that tells the tale here today, guys. Throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and finish.
And it's good for 2. Markkanen's got 6.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Shepard, the pass to Robinson. Dishes it to Beal. Pass to Shepard. 4 on the shot clock. Kept alive by Washington. Over to the wing. Off the mark and a bad shot there.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
From outside the arc. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Here's Kukoc. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
It just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Donnie's checked in for Chicago. They have a very long way to go to get within sight of the lead.
And from what we've seen so far, guys, don't hold your breath.
Now here's Beal. D right on him. Kukoc grabs the miss.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
Well, if he wasn't there, that shot's going in. Love the effort on the defensive end.
Markkanen, good.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
To stop the run. And again, Washington, no good.
Well, you don't get much more wide open inside the arc. He simply got to make that shot.
Kukoc can't get it to go.
Not the kind of strong finish it should have been. Something threw him off.
Too open that time. Made it look too easy. He has 5. For Chicago, they've gone 7 of 10 on their field goal attempts here in the third. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Here's a look at what's coming up for Washington. On Saturday, they'll be facing Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. And then on Monday, they'll host the Brooklyn Nets.
And for that game against the Nuggets, you know they're going to be amped up for that one. And they'll need to be. That's going to be one tough game for that group.
Washington's gotten 1 of 6 three-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. Nice ball movement by Washington. Hammers the alley-oop through.
You really like to see Beal getting involved with those passes, guys. He's all about the team.
1:56 left in the third quarter. Kukoc pass to Elliott. Back to Kukoc. And he uses the glass on the layup. Kukoc has got 11 here in this quarter alone.
Boy, what a quarter for this guy. Just give him the basketball and get out of the way.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over.
Yeah, just ice cold right now from the floor. Time to regroup.
I think, Greg, they look lost and they look frustrated. Not sure how they're missing so many shots right now.
Great shooters. Boy, can they make or break you down the stretch. Here's the league's top shooters right now. You look at T, so solid around the basket, currently 3rd in the league.
And just so reliable offensively. It's one thing to find good looks, but you've got to finish when you get them, and he does at a fantastic rate.
Well, that's an example of 2 teammates on a different page. They're both looking at each other like, hey, what was going on there?
The Bulls have gotten 8 of their 11 shots to drop since the break. A great third quarter for them offensively. Markkanen kicks to Dunn. To the left wing. Inside. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
You know, they barely needed other contributions. This lead has been built through his offense.
The pass to Shepard. Shoots from 14. And the shot falls short this time.
Well, it's been an up and down quarter for him on the offensive end. Most. Oh,
wow.
That's crazy.
That's a beautiful jam.
My goodness, that was absolutely filthy.
Nasty. This building is stunned. He dug deep, Greg, into his bag of tricks there. And that's a foul called on Lauri Markkanen. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Robinson kicks to Thornton. Pass to McKenzie. Tipped away. Shot clock at 5. And that one is off. And the Bulls going the other way now. Here's Kukoc, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Showcasing his skills with that slam.
He knows how to put the exclamation point on those, doesn't he? My goodness. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Simmons feeling it out a bit. To the inside, McKenzie. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. Bean passes to Early. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. The Bulls shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
And taking a look at the numbers on the season, they've converted about 77% of those foul shots.
The league is always looking for ways to adjust the rules, make them better. There's a committee that studies this every single year. And, you know, with that in mind, Doris, any rules you think they should alter or tweak?
Yeah, there's absolutely one, Kevin. And I think this goes to the point where perhaps we can have some more uniformity in the FIBA-ruled games that are played and the NBA. And there's one thing that's occurred in international play where players are becoming more athletic, and the opportunity for electric stuff to happen in transition is critical. To me, we have got to stop the intentional fouls, which are prohibiting fast breaks and all the potential for the explosive, exciting athleticism to be on display. So that, to me, is something we've got to address.
I'm with you. We've got Kukoc, also Elliott out there, and it's Bird in at the small forward position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
And they're drawing more whistles and working their way to the line here in the second half.
Washington has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Shepard. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss. The Bulls have gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the 4th quarter for them. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. First free throw is good.
You know, seeing an uptick in his trips to the free throw line, really, since we came out of the half.
That one is no good. Wizards shooting around 36%. They're just not able to finish consistently. And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession.
Ouch, that's a waste of possession. Got to shake it off and forget it happened, guys.
To the paint. Kukoc passes to Elliott. And no good. Now Washington takes it the other way. Here's Cato. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Well, he's a guy that can adapt and adjust to any defense he's up against. It's really something to watch.
Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Kukoc has got 39.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
We know James Harden joined Durant and Westbrook in winning league MVP honors, Doris. Had those 3 stayed together in Oklahoma City, is there any doubt in your mind that they would have won at least one NBA championship?
Well, you think back to the time they were together, and they did go to an NBA Finals and ended up being eliminated by LeBron James and the Miami Heat. So obviously, you like the opportunity they would have had to go to more. And let's give a little credit to the great GM of the Oklahoma City franchise, Sam Presti, who is responsible for the drafting of 3 MVP candidates. That in and of itself is quite remarkable. But you know this, Kevin. The success and failure, there is such a fine line. And there's a tenuous nature to things. An injury at the wrong time. So many times this trio was tripped up by an untimely situation. So, I mean, if they stay together, yes, you like their chances, but this is why history states otherwise.
Beal against Kukoc. Fires at the elbow. Beal can't get that one to fall.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
They swipe it. And here we go. Washington fast break. Shepard the pass to Watson. Beal taking his time here. Shot clock at 6. Sinks the 15-footer.
Well, Bradley Beal has turned himself into more than just a perimeter shooter. This guy can go off to dribble drive. He can score at the rack. That's nice.
Here's Kukoc, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Players going to great lengths to improve their performance and extending their prime years. We're seeing it all over the league. Doris, it amazes me.
I heard a number of LeBron James spending 7 figures a year.
Wow.
That's a 1 in 6 zeros to take care of his body.
No kidding.
Right, making an investment in your future, understanding nutrition to training to recovery. Listen, you have a limited window, Kevin, to make money with your body if you're a professional athlete. So why you wouldn't want to extend that window as long as possible? You're playing a kid's game for fun, Kevin. Come on, let's lengthen it out if we can.
Chicago making a switch here. And that one falls for early. We've got 1:18 left to play in the final quarter.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Bulls.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win, a game that not many will soon forget, and on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And this will be a big win for them. Lucky win number 13 now in the bag.
And once the horn sounds, they're going to go up 2-0 in the season series.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for T.
Boy, I think he made his presence felt in the paint more than anywhere else. This guy's rebounding numbers were outstanding. He controlled the glass.
Offensive rebound. Robinson finds Beal. To the left side wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Shepard. Offline with his 3. Dunn passes to Kukoc. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
And he makes the first. And so he's able to get 1 of 2. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were.
Locked and loaded. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Nice shots. Love them. Appreciate it. Nice shot selection. Sure.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Okay, basketball fans, with me, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. You're watching 2K Sports, but you know that already.
Moments away, it'll be the Chicago Bulls going up against the Atlanta Hawks. Wins have been few and far between of late for the Hawks. They are hungry for a win here. Last season, they got swept by this team. 4 straight losses, something they...
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Greetings, everyone, from Atlanta. The Hawks playing host to an Eastern Conference game here on their home floor. I'd like to welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. You look at Chicago, they're hoping they can carry over some of that momentum from their undefeated homestand.
Yeah, but checking out Chicago, they're proving that all the talk we heard about them in the preseason was warranted. What a role this group's been on here early on.
And don't count on that coming to an end anytime soon. The talent level of this squad is off the charts. And with the momentum they're gathering here early in the year, they could steamroll through the season.
Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. Kukoc is out there with Earl. Then there's Carter. Then it's Zach LaVine, and it's Hunt in at the 1. Now here's Wiggins. Count that bucket. Wiggins has got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the Hawks. One of the interesting storylines of this young season, Brent Barry, the surprising early development of a couple rookies in the league.
Early development of rookies is a great thing for a young team because all of a sudden somebody's taking the reins. And I think coaches always appreciate when a rookie comes in, he does the work in the offseason, all that work starts to pay off. But now rookies tend to start looking towards somebody else.
Yikes. Wow. And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, I mean, he gets up. And again, it's Atlanta.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting called, and for good reason.
This is also one of those things where you start to think about how you're going to change your defense already. If at all possible, make someone else beat you.
Let's break here. Here come the Hawks. Misses the wing J. On the wing, Kukoc, covered by Wiggins, knocks it loose. Passes it to Hunt. Back to Kukoc. It's stolen by Vucevic. To the inside. Lays it up and banks it in. And that's now 6 points for Andrew Wiggins.
That's a talented guy getting too easy a look. Might have been a miscommunication on that one.
Well, just the first quarter, everyone's still getting adjusted. That said, on defense, you have to bring help sooner.
Myers, guarded by Levine. Makes it off the glass. Tavares has got his second bucket of the night.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Kicks it to early, to the middle. Here's Levine, and the jam by Levine.
And I don't know if there's anybody who can match Levine when it comes to the art of the dunk. He is a highlight reel waiting to happen.
Vucevic to the pass to Simons. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Bulls shooting their initial free throws of the game right here. The first free throw is good. Well, Brent, as a former dunk contest winner, I have to ask your thoughts on one of the great Hawks of all time, the terrific human highlight film, Dominique Wilkins.
Well, Dominique, one of the greatest athletes this game has ever seen, and one of the...
He is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. Pass to Vucevic. Over Carter. And it's Vucevic missing.
Yeah, the defense cannot afford to be that lazy. You got to...
And for a power forward, he can sure get up. I mean, because of that leaping ability, it kind of offsets his height disadvantage.
Here's Simons. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. Vucevic with the bucket.
Yeah, that's pretty much a perfect pass, and that's also alliteration.
Kukoc kicks to Carter.
There are times where you have to play with a little bit more caution. It's already his second foul in the first quarter.
And here are the Bulls now. It's a 3-point game. So the wing on the left. Done outside. Just 5 to shoot. That misses. Had a chance to tie it there. The Hawks have gotten 7 of their first 10 attempts to fall so far. Excellent pace to their offense. Pass to Simons. And the pass to Kukoc. Over Kukoc. And the basket by Kukoc. Kukoc has got his first 2 points. Here's Dunn. To the right side. Back to Kukoc. And he uses the glass on the layup. Atlanta leading by 3. Here's Simons. Passes it to Kukoc. Cuts it 5 from 18. And misses it off the right side of the rim. The Bulls have gone 6 of 9, shooting it well. Page passes to Markkanen. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
You got to like the vision for Markkanen. I mean, a big man who knows how to find the open man.
And here's Wiggins. 23 points his last outing. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Andrew Wiggins, the #1 overall pick back in 14. Great bloodlines, the son of pro athletes. The game just seems to come easy to him.
You know, Greg, the game comes so easy to Wiggins, but some say he needs to be more assertive, more aggressive. Do you see that?
I mean, high expectations for a player that was taken first overall. The length and athleticism should enable him to impact the game in so many ways. But, you know, his motor doesn't always rev high enough to take advantage.
And the Hawks making a change here. George's Hunt is checked in. Kukoc against Favors. And that one is good. Kukoc has got 13.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Allen finds Favors. Here's Kukoc. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Chicago making a switch here. Bird's checked in. Here's Kukoc. That's in, coming off an assist from Dunn. 15 points for T.
Yeah, the onslaught continues. He's been unstoppable now for a couple of nights.
Well, a tip of the cap to the coaching staff here. They're recognizing how well he's playing, so the game plan has been built around it.
And he makes that one.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Elliott's checked in for Kukoc. No longer wants to reward offensive players who throw themselves into defenders. Have you seen a big change in how those players, Brent, are being called?
I think the league's doing a better job of it, trying to examine when it is.
Seems that way, you're right.
Somebody gets up in the air and the offensive player leans in or kicks out and tries to draw some kind of contact. So it's been up to the referees. They've been diligent with it. I think they'll just get better with time.
Well, you just have to love the skill Vucevic shows on the offensive end. I mean, he can erupt for big scoring nights if you don't keep him in check, and it gives you a little bit of everything from an offensive standpoint.
Taking a look at the Bulls. Early out there with Kukoc. Then it's Zach LaVine. Then there's Carter. And it's Hunt in at the point guard position. And it's Simons missing.
The shots like that drive coaches batty. I'll be shocked if he attempts that shot again.
Guys, Vucevic doing more shooting from range the last couple of years, further improving his versatile offensive game.
Yeah, and when he was younger, he got his points by going to work on the block. Still can do that, but now prefers to float outside and stretch the defense. Very soft touch on that jump shot, no matter if it comes from inside or out.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, T in that last outing against the Wizards was terrific. He had 46 points and was his usual dominant self on the glass. It's rare to see any player put up numbers like that. It's likely a game he'll always remember. Kevin?
Great, David. Appreciate it. Well, he set the bar pretty high for himself with that performance.
He did. I mean, but we know he's going to try to raise that bar again tonight. No matter how good he is, he's always thinking he can do better.
And the great players are never satisfied. We'll see what he does in the next one.
At the elbow, Vucevic. Here's Byers. And a miss there on the triple. Bulls trail by 6. Pass too early. Back to Kukoc. It's deflected, and they get it back. And he gets the bucket. The Hawks leading by 4. Byers, guarded by LaVine. They get it again. For Chicago, they've gone 4 of 10 in the second quarter from the field. Kukoc kicks to LaVine. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
Well, passing is something he does very well, especially when it comes to leading his man to the right spot.
Atlanta's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Pass to Tavares. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And you can see him give a little nod and then just burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
A pair of teammates, Greg, with a terrific feel for each other. Here's Hunt. No points in the game yet for him. And that one drops.
His versatility on offense is so spectacular. He always finds ways to help put points up on the board.
Here's Simons. Out left to the wing. Here's Vucevic. And there's the pass to Tavares. Carter with the block. And so it looks like the Hawks will retain possession here. Derek Favors checked in for Vucevic. Bulls making a switch here. .54 seconds left to play here in the half. Sinks the three-pointer.
And when the D is this non-existent, it's pretty easy for shooters. Fishing with dynamite.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And a chance now to take a look at the schedule for the Chicago Bulls. On Monday, they'll be matching up with Andre Drummond and the Detroit Pistons. Then on Wednesday, they'll be facing off against DeMarcus Cousins and the Sacramento Kings.
And with the way they've been able to march right along in this season lately, I think they should be able to keep things going in this next stretch. Just come out with the same energy and discipline, and you should have some wins.
Kukoc is checked in for Atlanta. 29 seconds left to play in the first half.
Yeah, looking up at the scoreboard, guys, that's his third foul, and his coach has to consider now sitting him down.
Chicago shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. That's good from Kukoc. He hits both from the stripe. Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Myers done covering. Six to shoot. Kicks it to Wiggins. It's good from about 19 feet. Wiggins has got 10. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Hawks lead by 4. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Joined by Coach Tyronn Lue. Coach, how do you think the team performed defensively in that first half?
Well, they got to a good start, but then I thought we settled in and started playing a little bit more defense.
Got locked in as the game went on. Thanks, Tyronn. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway. As we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Really an incredible game from T.
Yeah, pretty much all throughout that first half. And he was taking care of his business on the low blocks and getting more than his fair share of dunks.
Yeah, there's not any guy defensively that was bodying him up or contesting the shot. So right now he's feasting.
They've got Vucevic, and it's Tavares in at the 4. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. Here's Hunt. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Kukoc passes to Levine. Now here's Kukoc. He's covered closely. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And the foul called on the Atlanta Hawks. He's made 3 of his 4 free throw attempts in the game.
And he's shooting his free throws to the tune of 75% this season. Fairly standard numbers.
And he makes the first. When it comes to veteran players, Brent, on a team, what characteristics make for a good leader for a bunch of young guys under him?
We talk a lot about veteran guys on teams, Kevin, and I think one of the most important aspects to think about is that those veterans have a lot more impact if they're still part of playing minutes for coaching staff. At some point, 4 or 5 months into a season, when an older player is telling you how to do something and only get a chance to see it during practice or him pointing it out on film when you're playing, doesn't have as much of an impact.
Doesn't resonate as
right.
much.
When a guy gets 15 minutes a night and you get to see him do those things as a young player from the bench and say, wow, everything he told me on my list, he's checked all those boxes. So having a vet that plays, much more impactful.
Good point. Myers passes to Vucevic. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. This is his second trip to the line in this one.
And to this point on the season, guys, 80% from the line. He's done a really good job.
Good on both. Bulls trail by 8. Kukoc gets the bucket. Kukoc has got 25 points in the game.
Well, they missed their first 3 shots, and after that maybe they'll get some air underneath their wings a little bit.
Wiggins inside the line. They grab their own miss. Second shot opportunity, and Vucevic with the layup. Vucevic has got the lead up to 8 now for the Hawks.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Passes to Simons. Myers, guarded by Levine. Carter with the block. And they get it back. Now here's Levine. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. For Chicago, they have shot 8 of 10 from the line. That's an even 80% free throw shooting here. That's good from Kukoc. Chicago making some changes. Elliott comes in for Carter. And it's Bird in for Zach LaVine. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
They got to hope to turn it on soon. 1 of 4 so far. They know they got to be better.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Early, and he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Yeah, they should bring out a big razor right now, Kevin. A great start, an aggressive move to show they're not going to lay down.
Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Georges Hunt kicks to Vucevic to the left wing from the arc. Georges Hunt's shots no good. Bulls trail by 6. Kukoc passes to Early. Bird outside to the paint. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Allen leading the charge. Pass to Patrick, trying his luck deep. Rebound by the Bulls. Kukoc has got his 4th rebound in this one. Bulls moving the ball around. He kicks it to Bird. Here's Hunt, defended by Allen. Elliott passes to Kukoc. 3 on the clock. It's stolen by Vucevic. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Pass to Favors. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And for so long, it seems Derek Favors had played in a crowded front court, but still can get the job. Bulls trail by 6. So for Chicago right now, we've got Kukoc, also Carter out there. Zach LaVine is out there with Dunn. Down low, intercepted. Here's Wiggins. Good work defensively by Carter.
Ooh, the D did just enough to keep him from scoring. Thought that was in for sure.
Back to Kukoc. Down low. And LaVine throws it down.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. To the middle, here's Simons. Lays it up off the glass. And the Hawks lead by 6.
And you don't want to allow too many of those short ones with the game right now in the balance. And guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness. Here's Wiggins, and he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim.
And there's one thing that's never been in question about Wiggins, his ability to be a high-volume scorer. And in case you needed a reminder, he's giving you one tonight. Yeah, that was the third straight high-percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies. Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
First free throw is good. Vucevic checked in for the Hawks. He's perfect from the line this time. Here's Hunt. Now Kukoc, and it's blocked. Here's Simons. Atlanta again missing.
Yeah, and he had the D tangled up there with that patented crossover. Just couldn't convert the finish.
Offensive rebound, Carter. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And really, at this stage of the game, to get those kinds of offensive rebounds for putbacks, you almost feel like it's a 4-point swing.
Yeah, and you know who your Warriors are by plays like that. They make it when it matters most.
Back to Wiggins. Out to the right wing. 4 on the clock. Beyond the arc. Good for basket number 6 from him in the contest. He's shooting 6 for 12.
Not a shot the coaches are going to draw up often for him, and he makes it with the defense closing in.
Here's Simons. Here's Vucevic over Carter, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. First one falls for him. And both free throws good for Vucevic. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Andrew Wiggins really making a difference here.
He can't be stopped right now. The D looks like they're at a loss. They have no idea how to contain him.
Bulls trail by 9. Hunt the pass to Kukoc. Atlanta with the rebound. We're in the final quarter of play here. 3 minutes in. Here's Tavares. Oh, that's blocked. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Hawks will retain possession. Byers, guarded by Levine, down to 5 on the shot clock. Byers passes to Wiggins.
Yeah, not a lot of success for them from three-point range here in the second half.
Levine dishes to Kukoc. Here's the break. Here's Tavares. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And just keeping his teammates involved. This is the kind of leadership you like to see.
Well, you could trademark this brand of basketball, running through the progressions and working around for decent looks.
A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. On the wing, Levine. Back to Kukoc. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Here's Simons. Taken away. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Three-pointer. Kukoc. Rebound by the Hawks. Vucevic has got rebound number 5 here tonight.
Just doesn't seem to be shooting it with confidence, and his shots are going all over the place in this period.
There's the pass to Tavares. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And T is going to pick up the foul.
My career, I think the way Australians play the game compared to Americans is a lot more of a European style of play. And I think that's why a lot of guys that come from Australia are able to, adapt well to the American system because they add that different flair to the game. I used to play a lot in my career when I had a lot more time, but now, probably play now and play one of my friends and pick sixes.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
This is 2K Sports, broadcasting from Atlanta as the Hawks take it to the hardwood. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. Last game for the Hawks, it was a loss to the Charlotte Hornets. And boy, they really got humiliated at home. They got flat out dominated in that game, guys.
Well, listen, I've seen worse performances offensively, but no doubt that group was inconsistent.
They would look like they had it figured out and take a couple bad shots and be right back to where they started.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. We've got Kukoc, also Carter out there. Levine is out there with Earl, and it's Hunt in at the guard position. See, we have the front court talent tonight on full display. Talk about what it's like to play against the elite at your position, going mano a mano, you against the best.
Oh, wow. I tell you what, in this league of the best players, you better be ready every night. But to go back to my era, Kev, this was what my week looked like as a Sacramento King in the Western Conference. Play against Dirk Nowitzki on Tuesday. Play against Tim Duncan on Thursday. Play against KG on Friday, and then play against Shaq on Sunday, and then how about Karl Malone again on Tuesday? So if that doesn't make you lose a little bit of sleep,
unbelievable.
You must be one of the greatest of all time. So it's tough. You got to be focused every night.
Absolutely.
Now that was a sensational feed. He hit him right on the move.
Here's Atlanta now. Myers passes to Vucevic. Here's Wiggins. And that one is off. Now Chicago takes it the other way. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Atlanta.
And well, they swept the season series against them last year, making it pretty clear how much separation exists between the two teams.
Yeah, a lot of people think that separation still exists, but I myself, I want to see what happens in this first game before I make that call.
Rejected by Kukoc.
A very shaky start for them. After 4 attempts, they're still trying to find a target.
And here they come. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Knocked away. And he comes up with the deuce.
They were pretty tight to start this game. Started out with 4 straight misses. Maybe that one will get them going.
The Bulls have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Down low, early, and he uses the glass on the layup.
And setting the tone early with a strong move to the rack.
Well, you like to see a little more physical nature on defense. You have to make him earn those points at the strike.
Here's Tavares. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Here's Early, covered by Wiggins. Kukoc pass to Hunt, and some nice ball movement here by Chicago. To the inside, it's stolen by Vucevic, and T is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. The Hawks trailing. Myers passes to Wiggins.
It's been a really tough quarter for him. I mean, he cannot get his shots to drop.
Well, you just have to love the skill Vucevic shows on the offensive end. I mean, he can erupt for big scoring nights if you don't keep him in check, and it gives you a little bit of everything from an offensive standpoint.
Here's Vucevic after Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. Higgins outside, 6 on the shot clock. From deep three-point range, Bean with the rebound.
And out of rhythm offensively, but he continues to work at it.
I mean, the truth is, if you play long enough, sometimes you're going to have a bad quarter, even a bad game. I doubt that this shakes his confidence.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Simons. Here's Vucevic, and they convert it last on attempt number 3.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate.
Here's Hunt. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Count that bucket.
Oh, great ball movement there.
The Hawks trail by 6. And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks.
Yeah, some of it's shot selection, some just bad luck, and they just can't get anything going.
Well, this is the dilemma as a coach. You wonder, do I need to call a timeout here? Do I need to settle these guys down? Should I let them play through it?
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. And obviously the season's just begun, but never too soon to check out the power rankings. Let's see how these teams are stacking up. You look at the Bucks. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And right now, Chicago, they've sure made a statement here early on, outpacing some teams that were expected to be better, owning that top spot and defending it with pride.
And that's out of bounds. Chicago. We've played just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Kukoc is out there with Andrew Wiggins, and it's Vucevic, and it's Georges Hunt in at the 2. So that's the lineup for Atlanta.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, T in that last outing against the Wizards put on a show. He had 46 points, and as he always seems to do, piled up rebound after rebound. A very solid stat line for him in what was a terrific outing. And you know he wants to keep the momentum going, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you, guys. Could you believe that performance? Wow.
I mean, it was really something to see. I mean, he showed everybody just how special he is when he is on his game.
Oh, yeah. Once he got him on the ropes, he never let them off the hook. It was full-speed energy basketball at his greatest.
The lead pushed to double digits. And now it's an 11-point Bulls lead.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Here's Potter. Hammers it home to polish off the break.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
Now here's Wiggins. Still looking for his first bucket in this one.
And Andrew Wiggins, the #1 overall pick back in 14. Great bloodlines, the son of pro athletes. The game just seems to come easy to him.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. He doesn't get the second one.
If he'd been even halfway decent today, the score would be a lot different, but he can't get anything to fall.
Out to Carter. Back to Kukoc. That's in there. Carter with the assist. Kukoc has got 12 in the game. You know, Greg, the game comes so easy to Wiggins, but some say he needs to be more assertive, more aggressive. Do you see that?
I mean, high expectations for a player that was taken first overall. The length and athleticism should enable him to impact the game in so many ways, but, you know, his motor doesn't always rev high enough to take advantage.
Shot clock at 2, and denied. He sends it right off the glass. Now let's take a look at how the shots have been divided up between 3-point shots and 2-point shots for the Hawks.
And really, the long ball hadn't been a big factor for him. Not a lot of attempts, not a lot of makes either. Nothing wrong, though, with probing inside on days when the shots aren't falling.
Atlanta making a switch here. Tavares is checked in. There's the pass to Early. Got a piece of it. And T is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Hawks trail by 14. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Tipped away. It's stolen by Early.
That's 2 really unproductive trips in a row, ending in turnover.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
The Bulls shooting their first free throw of the evening.
And taking a look at the numbers on the season, they've converted about 77% of those foul shots.
Here's Simons. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. Wiggins kicks to Vucevic. Over Carter. Atlanta again missing. Chicago leading by 17. To the inside. Here's Levine. Another one falls for Chicago.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. Chris, you and I love guys with a great handle, and they can finish with either hand. And I know you've got a couple guys who you think do it better than most.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, right,
He's
exactly.
one of the best finishers that I've seen. Oh, my goodness, the way he can finger roll you with his left hand and throw it up so high the rain will come down with it and finishing off of both legs. You have to look at a guy like Harden as well, the way he finishes. How about LeBron James? As strong as he is, it seems like he just kind of gives you a shoulder with either shoulder, bumps and waits, and then lays it up nice, too. I mean, you have so many players. And Curry, he's another guy that does it so well. I can keep going on and on, but those guys, don't forget about Mike Conley. He's ambidextrous. He might just shoot a jump shot with either hand. So you got to be careful when guarding these guys. Great finishers.
Good names you've mentioned. Now here's Kukoc. Following the miss by Andrew Wiggins. And Carter with the basket on the assist by Kukoc. Kukoc has got 4 assists now tonight. The Hawks trail by 21. Simons, the pass to Tavares. Hawks passing it around. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Tavares has got his first points of the night.
I like that pick play. I mean, you can see how easily it makes it for him to get to the cup.
Pass to Simon. Right post shot. Count the basket. So the Bulls, their last game, a win against Washington. Here's Early. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Early's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Simons, the pass to Byers. Here's Tavares, guarded by Kukoc. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
2 shots.
And there's the call. Chicago the foul.
2.
The Hawks have gone 5 of 7 from the free throw line in the game.
And looking at the numbers this season, they're shooting a robust 82% from the line. That's about as good as it gets.
And the first one at the line is good. And the Bulls making a change here. And both free throws good for Vucevic. Here's Dunn. Kukoc with it. Outside, Levine. Allen against Dunn. Feeds it to Kukoc. That's in, coming off an assist from Dunn. 14 points for T.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Inside, and he lays in the alley-oop.
No hesitation at all on the alley-oop. Saw his teammate with a path to the hoop, and bang, lobbed it right up there for him to finish.
And he was ready for it when he elevated and made the catch.
And a terrific percentage here in the first half. You got to love their rhythm and the flow with which they're playing.
Well, it's the shot selection. That's been a positive for them thus far and a negative for their opponent.
Now here's Vucevic. He's coming off a 13-point game against Charlotte. Kukoc with the steal. Jumps up. Throws down the breakaway jam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Fellas, that's just like it's supposed to work. Don't give the D a chance to set up.
No good. Shot missing. And so it's Chicago, sitting on a 21-point lead to end the quarter. Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the 3rd quarter of action following halftime. And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Really an incredible game from T.
And I loved in that first half that they were patient, looked for good shots, and knocked them down.
Yeah, and then it wasn't all dunks. I mean, they were squaring up with confidence, and that became contagious.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. So for Chicago right now, Early out there with Kukoc. Then it's Zach LaVine. Then there's Carter. And it's Hunt in at the 1. And the foul on Andrew Wiggins. That's his first foul. Down low, here's Kukoc. Draws contact on the shot, and now a 3-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
Yeah, but here's the problem. They play team ball. So if you pay him too much attention, that just leaves other guys open, and it's too difficult of an adjustment to make.
Myers, guarded by Kukoc, and they pick up 2.
I tell you what, he came out of that locker room raring to go.
On the wing, Levine. And stolen by Wiggins. Here we go, all alone. Here's Simons. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. When you were playing on the road, obviously the fans would yell things and, try to get under your skin. C-Web, do you remember any instance when it really bothered you and took effect?
Maybe when I would go home and play for the Pistons, I'd see some fan in a green and white, and maybe Steve Smith, my partner, paid him to be there. But, the Michigan State fans, the gold blue or that type of thing. Or in Ohio, it's very funny, in Ohio, if they want to boo, if they want to get the crowd pumped up, all they do is put a big Michigan M up there, and the crowd will go crazy and boo. So Ohio, usually my people in Ohio State and Cleveland, they always, had something to say. No, but it was more like, you suck, Ohio State is the best, Michigan State, you should have come here. That type of stuff. You kind of look back, give a guy a wink, knock it down a jump shot, and put your fingers to your lips and just say, shh, you don't want to get me upset. Let sleeping dogs lie.
That's great. And it's the Bulls with the ball, following the bucket by the Hawks. And the Hawks making a change here. Favors is checked in. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Kukoc dishes to Carter.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Here's Kukoc. 20 points for him. The feed now to Early. Sent back. It's deflected. The Hawks trail by 17. Wiggins right side. Here's Simons. He's got 8. Here's Myers. Rebound by the Bulls.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change. Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. Atlanta calls timeout.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Oh, this is ugly. No question about it. And you wonder if these matchups aren't favoring them right now.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Georges Hunt passes to Kukoc. Wiggins outside. 6 to shoot. Favors at the elbow. And that one is off. And in Chicago the other way, they've got the Pistons ahead of them in their next game in Detroit. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Over to the left wing. Here's Kukoc, guarded by Kukoc. And it's Kukoc missing. Chicago leading by 19 points. Carter down low. He's guarded by Favors. Derek Favors with the rebound. Hawks have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. A three-pointer, Wiggins gets the three-pointer to fall.
I don't think they were expecting that shot. They didn't really make an effort to get out of it.
Here's Kukoc, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Kukoc has got 8 points in the quarter.
He's been in control here tonight, helping them get in front with his work from the field.
And for so long, it seems Derek Favors had played in a crowded front court, but still can get the job done.
And Favors has shown his versatility and impact in spot minutes his whole career. Every team can use a player like Favors. He just eats up space inside and can play that tough D. Offensively, I think he'd like to get back to where he was around 2015, and hopefully he'll find the chances to do so.
Allen's checked in for Andrew. We've got 13 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Passes it to Levine. Here's Hunt. Kukoc from outside, and that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's the Chicago Bulls controlling the game and finishing the quarter. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, it's also called making a good read, understanding where everyone is and taking full advantage. Fantastic.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first three quarters. Kukoc is out there with Vucevic, and it's Patrick in at the three, the small forward. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. Kukoc kicks to early, and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. Myers passes to Patrick, and T is going to pick up the foul. That's his third foul of the game. You know, the NBA has cracked down on flopping. It's still part of the game, but C-Webb, would you agree that progress has been made in that area?
Yeah, I think so, and I like to blame a lot of my European players for bringing that over along with soccer. Soccer with the flopping and that, and we've kind of taken away. And I know a little bit about flopping. We had some floppers on my Sacramento team, and so flopping is frustrating. You don't want to see that. You want to see guys earn it. This isn't soccer or football, and so I think the league has done a very good job, whether it was trying to find guys early or just embarrass you and say, hey, you're acting a fool. Get up right now. No one touched you. Why did you flop or act like you were hit? Move 10 feet back on the side. I hate flopping. But then again, you must embellish. You must be a good actor. You've got to put the referees in a tough position to make a good call. How do you find that balance? And I think the NBA has done a good job of making sure that it isn't encouraged and isn't rewarded.
Uses the glass to finish the layup. Kukoc has got 26 points.
And every move he makes looks like the right one at this point.
Well, he's extremely accurate here, coming down the stretch, trying to see if he can close this one out.
That one falls.
And no matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball inside.
The Bulls leading by 18. Pass to early. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Kukoc gets the bucket.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Oh, yeah, up by double digits. They're trying to keep the momentum, keep the foot on the neck. That's his focus right now.
Wiggins outside. From 11 feet away, clock is at 3, and Atlanta again with the bucket.
Strange game for him. Barely made any noise in the first half, and here in the second, he's been everywhere.
Here's Kukoc, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. C-Webb, I think of when you entered the league and how much the league has changed since your entry. In your mind, going back to your rookie year, I'm sure you can count many ways that the NBA has improved the game.
Yeah, and the NBA, to me, has always been a step ahead. It's been a leader as far as where sports in general should go. I mean, we're truly a global game now. Just imagine where the game is going to be in 20 years. The growth of overall player salaries, the value of franchises. And to me, again, the biggest improvement has just been the evolution of players. It's been thanking a guy like Larry Bird, who was 6'9", shooting threes, and today we have Kevin Durant, 7-foot shooting. These players getting better. The dribbling of Isaiah Thomas back in the Piston days to the dribbling of Curry, Kyrie, John Wall. Today, it's the evolution of the players, to me, that's been so exciting, along with the growth of the league overall. I like that he's playing with an edge here in the second half. I mean, he didn't get to the line once in the first half.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. C-Webb, there was a time when athletes spoke up about societal issues and they were simply told to, just stick to sports. That is no longer the case.
Basketball was built on players speaking their mind. You know, the one thing about the game of basketball, whether you're from Serbia like my friend Vladi or you're from Detroit like me, it's an urban game. And you cannot leave the problems of urban society just because you were blessed with the talent to play basketball. And so many of us speak up on societal issues just because we made it doesn't mean that our friends and family are out of those situations. We're not in a bubble in which we don't see how those issues affect us, our family, or our friends. And so just because we're blessed with basketball abilities, sporting abilities, does not mean that we're exempt from the problems in society. And if we have a platform that can speak out, why not? And I'm very proud of what guys in the league has done, whether it's LeBron James and his scholarship program, or whether it's Chris Paul and others, or Steve Kerr speaking up for societal issues. For me, it's refreshing, but it also is in the lineage of the greats that started this game in basketball, speaking up for the voiceless.
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Here's Hunt. And the pass to Kukoc. Rebound, Atlanta. Tavares has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. And T is going to pick up the foul. That's his 5th foul. The Hawks trail by 20. Here's Simons. Wiggins outside.
He'll be beating himself up if they can't come back because he is not carrying his weight at the offensive end.
Here's Early. They get it back. Pass to Hunt. Levine dishes to Kukoc. Shot clock at 6. Levine can't hit.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Well, not all defenses are constructed to protect the mid-range area. Nicely done that time.
Vucevic finds Wiggins. Here's Simons, guarded by Kukoc. Simons, the pass to Vucevic. It's stolen by Early.
That's going to be an easy bucket if he doesn't get his hand to that pass. Well defended.
Out of bounds, it'll go to the Hawks.
No pressure being put on him, and he sails the pass right out of bounds.
Kukoc is checked in for Atlanta. Myers, guarded by Levine, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. C-Webb, when you look at how basketball is taught at early levels for these kids, middle school and then high school, anything there that you would change?
Yes, I would change to developing all players and taking away positions.
Interesting.
When you were young and you're in, let's say, 3rd grade and you're the tallest player on the team.
And so it's Chicago winning this one. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem...
I think Clay got a faster release, though.
Oh, is that?
Yeah. I don't know.
Debatable.